And here with the latest international film and TV news is Arise correspondent Judita DaSilva, who joins us live from London. Hi, Judita. It's just me in the studio today, but I promise to keep it as interesting as it would be if Ikena was right here taking jabs at me as well.
No worries. Good to see you. Hope you had a good weekend.
Yes, it was a good and restful weekend. Now, let's talk all things film and television, starting with Universal Pictures. They've released a teaser for the upcoming final trailer for the second part of Wicked the movie. And Cynthia Erivo is set to introduce a new song to the film, which connects back to the original Wizard of Oz classic, doesn't it? Tell me more about that.
Yes, it does. So listen, like you said, Universal knows how to breadcrumb the trail of a rollout. So they've done this short teaser saying that the final trailer will come on Wednesday. And it kind of just reignites the interest in, Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo as the two main characters. And in the interviews they've done, they did a whole exclusive for Empire magazine. Cynthia and Ariana have these two new songs that have been introduced for the film, because you know how it's kind of inspired by a book and the stage musical. And for the film, John M. Chu said he really wanted to go into more of the meat of the book. And so he split it into two films, whereas you would go to the Broadway or the West End and just see one musical. He said he'd stretch it out. So obviously by doing that, you are naturally going to run out of runway. So there was inevitably going to have to be an expansion of the material, which is the introduction of these new songs. Yeah. But Cynthia's song in particular is called No Place Like Home. Mm-hmm. And it connects back to the original Judy Garland classic, because there's no place like home, with the words she says when she clicks her ruby slippers to get back to. So it is like the signature, like bat signal, S on the Superman's chest thing when it comes to Wizard of Oz. So it's a very special responsibility to be given to our Nigerian Cynthia Erivo to carry in this film.
Yeah, and I'm sure she's going to carry well. We do know that she's a fantastic singer, but then her co-actress in the movie, Ariana Grande, is also set to introduce a new song for the movie. So could this help to set these movies apart from what is an ever-growing world of content from the characters of Oz?
Yeah, I mean, from the original films, the original books, to the musicals, to now the movie musical, it's a lot to be able to stand apart. Remember, if you cast your mind back to when Wicked the musical was first being done with Idina Menzel, when they were workshopping it off Broadway, people were like, you're going to touch Wizard of Oz, can you do this? But what was the thing that made it so magical? It was Defying Gravity. And the way Idina Menzel sang Defying Gravity and that final note, which miraculously Cynthia Erivo was able to reinterpret in her own way and make that a classic. So it's really important. It's a good call on John M. Chu's part that they're going to bring in new songs, but they've got to be good. It's all about how good the songs are, because if they are, it could catapult this movie into being its own thing within such a popular body of work. Because just as Idina Menzel put her stamp on Defying Gravity, and that was the song that made this musical amazing, and it just cut into the hearts of everyone. Because remember, before that, there was Judy Garland, who had her song that everyone said that, Somewhere Over the Rainbow can never be beaten. It's all about how great that song is.
Definitely. And just to go a bit off course, I was just looking back at the, final trailer Wednesday, and it's got me thinking about Wednesday and how now we have this thing where we have like two parts, but 3 episodes, and one episode comes out in Easter and the other comes out. We have the same thing with Stranger Things, where we've waited almost 2 years for a new season. Then we get one half in December, get the other at New Year's. There's been news reports about the fact that the second season of Wednesday isn't doing so well because of how long people have had to wait. Do you think that this is something that would, we spoke about the breadcrumb, how they breadcrumb, this releases. Is it a good thing, or is it a bad thing in some of these cases?
It counts on two things: the veracity of the fan base and the quality of what it is you're going to release. Because when you think of something like Stranger Things, all they did was up the ante on the quality of the production, because they didn't expect it to get so big. The bigger it got, the more money they got. The more famous the stars got, the more attention it got, so they could level up. And breadcrumbing it is one of two things. You also have to figure out the marketing, because one, you want to create anticipation and you want to spike the ratings so that people get great episodes to begin with, but oh my gosh, what's happening next? And you've got to wait. So when you bring the next episode, you get another spike in the ratings. Also, you've got to calculate it around the schedule of your stars, because let's say in your schedule as a Netflix, you want to release it on this date, but at the end of the day, Jenna Ortega is available at this date. So if you are a bit more flexible, you can capitalize on when you have them free by breadcrumbing it. But ultimately, we know it's a money thing. By creating more, especially with Stranger Things, where you know it's coming to an end. The longer you stretch it out, the bigger spikes you have. And also with different quarters, when it comes to quarterly earnings for your company, spreading it out also helps, because let's say you straddle Q1 and Q2, you get 2 spikes in Q1 and Q2.
It's so interesting we're talking about this, because now we are that impatient generation. I remember when we were younger, you had to wait every week for the new episode of your new show. You couldn't. There was no other way out. But let's get back on track and talk about the new horror film that I personally can't wait to watch. I'm talking about him, set in the world of American football, and seeing actor and comedian Marlon Wayans playing one of his darkest roles to date. But the reception has not been the best overall. He's reacted to that, hasn't he?
Yeah, so he took to social media because, like you said, this film, it's produced by Jordan Peele. And we know Jordan Peele, his entire school of IP is kind of modern, alternative, urban horror around Black characters. And it's a whole realm of movies that we don't typically see Black people in, which has made them really stand out. And for Marlon Wayans, it's stepping out because he's always wanted to be more of a dramatic actor. When you think about films like Requiem for a Dream, you know he has the chops to do this kind of acting, but his family is so rooted and so successful in comedy. People just put him there. So this is a great chance for him. And he said that innovation is not always embraced, because Rotten Tomatoes, which is a website that lots of people use to measure how well a film is doing, it's sitting at around 27%.
So low.
But he said for his very successful career, most of his films have always done badly on Rotten Tomatoes, but when it comes to the actual audience, they do well and they make bank at the box office. So he said, don't judge the film by the opinion on Rotten Tomatoes, which is subjective. Just go see the film yourself. Yeah,
and there's conversation about the marketing decision to put Jordan Peele's name on the movie, because we know him, with Us, with Get Out. What's the last popular one as well?
What was it? Oh, gosh.
Remember 2 of them. But we saw him directing those movies, and that's the interpretation that we saw. But with this movie, we have Justin Tippin, who I believe is the director. Was that a marketing mistake to have put Jordan Peele's name as the producer? Because a lot of people are going in with the expectation of seeing something like Us, something like Get Out.
See, I think it was Nope was the other film we're trying to remember.
Yes.
So the thing is this, when you have, this is this director's feature directorial debut, having an Oscar winner as your executive producer, your EP, already elevates you from the rest of the pack. Otherwise, you don't have name recognition, you don't have brand recognition. So between having Marlon Wayans in front of the camera and knowing that you have an Oscar winner that is Jordan Peele, behind the camera, it just levels you up from the rest of the fray for people to pay attention. You said it, you're looking forward to seeing it. I've seen it. So it's one of those things that it's a marketing thing that everyone uses. I mean, you even have a situation where there are films that the EP had nothing to do with the film, but at the end they saw it. Like one executive said, just check out this film, and they said, I love it so much, put my name on it. We see this as Cannes all the time. Most of the films that have A-listers attached to it as EPs, they didn't see the film before it came to festival, but liked it and said, I'm going to push you ahead by putting my name on it. Now, the point you made is important. There are people who just don't like Jordan Peele's work. So it can be detrimental. That's why I think it's important. Just go see the film. Go see the film. An EP is not a director or a writer. It's just an EP. Go see the film.
All right, then, Judita, we're going to take a pause here, go on a quick break. You can just grab a glass of water because you've been giving us hot this afternoon. And we'll come back and wrap up on everything film and television. You're still watching Arise 360. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to Arise 360 here on Arise News. We still have our international correspondent, Judita DaSilva, of course, filling us in with all the latest in film and television. Now, let's talk about, we're still talking about, we're talking about him before the break, but when a movie is built on a big star, the success or failure is always hung around their neck. But in reality, can the reception of this film be blamed on Marlon Wayans?
See, again, I don't want to give any spoilers away. You've got to actually see the film.
Yeah.
A lot of the time, what you find is, I always say that it's testament to the actor that no matter what goes on around it, if you deliver a great performance, it will cut through. Mm-hmm. So when they do say you are only as good as the material you're given to a point, because you can be given something that's difficult to sell, but you still cut through. But the problem is that for people who have a very two-dimensional consumption of movies, you just know the Marlon Wayans films got bad reviews. Oh gosh, it must be awful. He must be awful. That's why I agree with him. Go and see it, because there are certain qualities to the film that jump out beyond any other issues you might have with the story or the plot or the execution. This is a first-time feature film director. There is responsibility you can hang around his neck. Yeah. But then again, that is the drawback of being a big star. It's Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson has said this a lot. That Tom Cruise has said it. They've said that, at the end of the day, I'm the marketing for the film. It's me. People come because of my name. So it's par for the course when you're a star. So sometimes when it's big, you ride that wave of fame. When it's bad, you hang your head in shame. Yeah. But it's all on you.
Yeah, and I agree with you, because the movie aficionados, people like you, everyone I've spoken to seem to like it. It's just like Rotten Tomatoes and, the audience, the general audience, two-dimensional, like you said. I like that. Let's now talk about, what's happened with Spider-Man fans. They're disappointed to hear that there might be a delay to seeing their favorite hero on screen. What happened to Tom Holland while he was filming on set? Talk to us about that.
Yeah, so the next installment of Spider-Man Brand New Day is being shot in the UK. So it's reported that he had an accident that resulted in a mild concussion. Wow. And so he's out of filming for a few days. And it's one of those things, like if you've seen the rollout and you've seen behind the scenes on the Marvel movies and everything, you know that Tom Holland does parkour. He's very athletic. He does a lot of his own stunts. So obviously in the time, even on the first day of filming, he was out there on the crane with the harness doing the stunts. And that's why people kind of love him, because they really feel, this guy is Spider-Man. So what kind of goes with that is that you're the leading star. If you're not using your stuntman and something happens, production shuts down, because it's a Spider-Man movie. He's probably in almost every scene, so they can't really move forward without him. So production's halted.
Wow. But with a movie like this, like you rightfully said, everything does revolve around Tom Holland. So how long could he be away from filming? And what will Sony Pictures, who distribute the film, be able to do as a result of this?
It's said that Sony executives are meant to be meeting today to find out how do they move forward with production without him there, because normally what would happen, let's say it's an Avengers film and Tom Holland gets injured, you then replot your shots and your shooting days to film everyone else for as much as possible, and then you bring him back and do coverage.
He's feeling better, yeah.
Exactly. But with this one, we don't know what the story is, how much he's in it, how much scenes don't require him, and how much the director can do to push, let's bring up all the other stuff without him, with Zendaya, with the other characters, and then bring him back. That's what they're going to strategize. But also, the domino effect is, when will it be released? Yeah. Because even though it's a mild concussion, it's a concussion. He's a movie star. You have to listen to what his doctors say, and it could be several days that he's gone. And listen, Shaitan, a day of production can run up to like $1 million, if not more. Wow. It's a lot of money if you don't film on a film this big. Yeah. And to know that the previous 2 films he did in Spider-Man made $1 billion and over. I think No Way Home made 1.9 billion, almost 2 billion. And the only films to match that level for Sony Pictures is James Bond Skyfall.
Yeah.
This is their biggest IP. So he's one of their biggest stars. So it is a big problem for them.
I mean, maybe they could go the route of now hiring a body double that will just wear the mask. You might have to bring out your contacts for this, or maybe you give Zendaya a call. Maybe she can give us the inside scoop as to what is happening. We know you have all the Hollywood A-list on your phone. Please
when
just
they see my
help
phone
us
number,
find
they're
out.
like, oh, I'm telling you, like, this Nigerian woman again and her trouble. It's like, I'm now notorious. I am.
Thank you so much, Judita. It's always a pleasure having you on here. And of course, we'll see you again on Arise 360 tomorrow.